we're back for episode 5 of Just Sats. I'm with my buddy Matthew. Ryan.
Episode 5 is Empire Strikes Back, and that was like the best one everybody loves. Dude. That was the best.
Or Rocky 5, which is one of the worst Rockies. Episode 5, I'm Jonathan G. Blanco. We talk through what's kind of been happening specifically around Bitcoin. We give away sats, and we have fun in between. So I'm excited for what we got to talk about this week. What's first on the agenda?
I don't know, dude. I'm still kind of in a food coma from Bitcoin Pizza Day, man. I said I was only gonna eat 1 or 2 slices, and I ended up eating the whole pie. Not gonna lie.
Did you get a Papa John's pizza?
No, I was going to try to do Papa John's because that's how Laszlo did it. And if you want to be true to like Laszlo, you would do Papa John's, but Papa John's, no. And so I tried a couple other pizza companies, and it was like jumping through hoops of fire to try and get a freaking pizza at 1 p.m. So you know what? I went with local Seattle right there in the background, our friends at Pagliacci.
It's called the Supreme. Ooh, you smell that? It smells good. It smells like fresh Satoshis, doesn't it?
Did you ask them to make did you get a pepperoni and have them make the B with the Bitcoin logo?
That would have been way too much for them. You know, I didn't want to like stress them out because they're trying to deal with coronavirus.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and like trip them out with some Bitcoin lore and stuff like, hey guys, give me some. I was like, look, dude, just give me a freaking pizza. Yeah. So I can go home and post this crap on Twitter and look cool and see how many likes I get out of it.
For sure.
That's basically the idea behind it.
You're only eating the pizza for the likes. I love it.
Now my waistline is going to really feel the results. I tried to burn some of the cardio, do some cardio today.
So one thing being a marketer and someone that's, very involved with branding, how has Papa John's not tried to get something out of this, right? Just like...
I'll tell you why. I simply want to answer.
What's that?
They're high.
It's because they let go of that guy.
You saw him. You've seen the video. You've seen the pictures of him.
He doesn't look
clearly. Well. I'm going to get excited about trying to lose the weight I put on from Bitcoin Pizza Day. Hopefully I can do some cardio is what I'm going to be excited about. But yeah, price-wise, you know what? I think you and I were kind of talking about this earlier. We might see some of this chop between 9 and 10 for a while here. We might not see 10 until later on, and maybe 30 by EOY. I don't know. I like to use fancy acronyms and drop them in so I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Bitcoin, as a primary example, has a finite supply, which makes it a deflationary currency. It actually, in very real terms, is scarcer than gold.
Jonathan, I got to ask you a question. Why did you move your 40 Bitcoin from the original block earlier this week? A lot of people freaked out and were like, oh! I'm like, dude, it's just Jonathan moving his Bitcoin, but apparently 40, you moved 40 Bitcoin?
Yeah, I had to move those 40. No, that's pretty wild, right? Like, people freaked out a little bit when the 40 Bitcoin moved, which caused other people to sell. But the reason why? Tell me why. Well, there was a little bit of speculation that maybe it could have been Satoshi. Yeah, maybe it could be Satoshi selling some coins where I think we've come to the conclusion now that it's pretty clear that those aren't Satoshi's Bitcoin. But in fact, early person. The fact that 40 Bitcoins moved in a wallet that has been untouched for probably like 10 years or 11 years or something like that is incredibly significant. And, the way we know this is there's Twitter accounts or bots basically out there that like to let everybody know about what
Whale
happened.
Panda. Oh, the whale alert. Oh, you get all the tweets and the alerts and like, oh, geez, what the heck's going on in my pocket? And
yeah, I mean, it definitely caused a lot of speculation and a lot of concern for folks. Like, oh my gosh, is more to come? And as far as selling,
here's the thing: you thought and you sold on that.
Yeah,
you're a noob and you're stupid.
You need
some you don't
resolve.
Deserve Bitcoin. Again, it's not you.
It's not me. It's not me. Or as I say, as you know, I like to say,
that's OPSEC.
I may or may not own Bitcoin.
Paul Tudor Jones owned it also. maybe that gives you a little bit of cover. I believe, I mean, I think that Mike Novogratz had said it a few weeks ago. I really believe if this isn't the environment for Bitcoin to work, with this kind of just money printing all around the world, then I don't know what is.
So from 40 Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoin, there's this really interesting article that came out that talked about how if you have 10 Bitcoin, you're at the top.
I don't own any.
0.05% of 30 million addresses.
If you own 10 Bitcoin, you're in the top what?
You're in the top 0.05% of 30 million Bitcoin addresses.
Ooh, you ain't even 1%. You micro percentage now, baby. You Bitcoin.
0.05.
But yeah, so if you have 10 Bitcoin, you're in the top 0.5% of the 30 million. Wow. So where can I go and find this then? Is there like a website to see like where my wallet, if I had one, might be?
Well, my guess is, yeah, they're probably just going straight on the blockchain, right? And just seeing all the wallets that exist. So it's probably someone's running a script on all the Bitcoin wallets. And then
well, you'd have to scroll way the fuck down there to find mine. I got like 7 of them. May 27th is a date that a lot of folks have circled in the calendar. Elon Musk looking forward to it because he's going to be sending people, launching them on a freaking rocket into space. And apparently Goldman Sachs as well, Jay, going to be talking to some clients. What is this about, like gold and Bitcoin as a hedge? What's all this I saw?
Yeah, they sent an invitation to their clients that they're going to have a call to discuss Bitcoin and gold about inflation, and that's pretty much all it said. But that's a big win for Bitcoin, because I can't imagine that call is going to be the type of call that they were having in the past, where it was like, hey, look out for Bitcoin, or don't invest here, we're not advice. It's like, no, like I have a feeling this type of call is going to be, hey, you might want to start considering and thinking and looking at Bitcoin, which also likely means that maybe Goldman will start selling Bitcoin. What's interesting to me on this Goldman thing is, they're pretty known for being very conservative. So I am really interested to see what happens in this call, if it is a discussion about their clients purchasing Bitcoin, and if they're going to be participating in the selling of Bitcoin. I'm super fascinated to find out about that. Or if it's simply going to be like, yeah, Bitcoin's interesting, but go about it on your way. Which I can't imagine that they would do that, right? Because of we've talked about this before, the margin opportunity. If you are selling to your clients, stocks and bonds and commodities and all this kind of shit, like why wouldn't you sell them Bitcoin, especially if you're going to have a call about it?
I'm the biggest crypto idiot and the biggest speculator. I speculate and pontificate more than anybody. That's fine, and I own that. But the folks at Visa got themselves a patent for the USD. Oh, dude, I'm saying this week, Visa, okay? We talked about their fighting for the blockchain. And then this week, I saw on CNBC, Steve Weiss, okay? Steve Weiss, now buying, and his whole clip, and I got the clip and I put it on Twitter, of him saying that we are moving to a cashless digital, we are moving to a cashless society.
I also added Visa. We're going cashless a lot quicker than anybody believes. I should say anybody. I believe it. I know others that do.
Okay, and I said, and I tweeted out, I go, oh, Steve knows because Visa just filed their patent for the USD digital dollar, right? So they're going to be distributed. And then here's the thing. Then look at this. Okay, Mnuchin and the Treasury comes out, right? And they say they want to start giving people debit cards, and how that debit card is going to be run, it's going to be probably run through Visa. How is that going to work with the digital dollar, right? Okay, and then add this one to, let's just connect some more fucking dots, right? Okay, now M-Pesa over in Africa and Kenya, right? They got this deal with Safaricom. I've been to Kenya, matter of fact. I went to Kenya in 2009. I saw firsthand these crazy fools. They was trading minutes for money way back in the day. They even skipped the home computer. They said, fuck all y'all. We going straight to the, straight to the phones, right? So that's what they did. And so M-Pesa is now sold to Safaricom, and Safaricom's got this deal where they're going to be able to connect all their digital payments to the Visa their whole blockchain deal. I just tweeted that out. So the stories are out there. If you start looking and you're able to connect the dots, Visa is going to be a very, very, very big player when it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrency. And the final thing that I would submit to you is this, that Visa also has a long-standing history going back into blockchain, supporting somebody like Adam Lundwin, who is now at Interstellar, which was purchased by Stellar, which was the former company called Chain, which got a grant from Visa way back in the day. Boom! Case closed, motherfucker. What?
Visa has a $400 billion market cap. 400 billion. Okay, it's more than all of crypto. Double of Bitcoin, more than all of crypto.
Yeah, it's
right?
A lot more.
Yeah,
it's a lot more.
So, and Visa's not going anywhere, right? Like for all the reasons you just stated there. So, that's pretty interesting. It will be interesting to see like how credit card companies start to play nice with purchasing of goods, purchasing of Bitcoin. Though it's usually not the credit card holder that has the issue; it's the bank, right? Like when the different banks have had the issue.
And now that we see Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan, we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
They're already like, hey, we're working with Gemini, we're working with Coinbase. So right there's the first domino to go. Then sooner or later, then Bank of America won't make it like a pain in the ass for me to buy crypto anymore on Coinbase, because for the longest time, for the past 3-4 years since I first got into crypto, Bank of America was flagging every damn freaking transaction. No, you can't buy it because it's criminal and it's activity and money laundering. I'm like, you know what? Money laundering. Look at what's in your vault. You fractionally reserved bitches.
I think it's something
like Max Kaiser tonight, man. I feel like Max Kaiser today.
I think they say it's something like 90% of all bills have traces of cocaine on it. I got a fun little Bitcoin conspiracy theory, and
I love these.
Yeah, I'll warn you though, I'm making up this conspiracy theory.
These are the best. Okay, of course.
So
sure, what do you got?
Just me
making
making stuff up. All right, you ready for this?
Oh yeah, please do.
Laszlo is Satoshi. Laszlo, Bitcoin pizza guy, he is Satoshi.
What?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Why
is Laszlo?
Yeah, unpack the conspiracy theory.
Okay. So Laszlo was involved, fairly early. I don't know how early he was, but he was responsible for turning mining into the GPU mining to get more production on producing Bitcoin, right? And it's very likely when, a lot of people are like, oh, he spent 10,000 Bitcoin. I can't believe he did. Think about people's behavior when they spend money or they spend anything. You're going to spend a smaller percentage of what you have. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Laszlo didn't have 11,000 Bitcoin and then he spent 10,000 of it on a pizza, right? It's probably likely that 10,000 Bitcoin was a fraction of what he had. So this is not true, but fun to think about is, what if Laszlo is Satoshi, and to get everybody off of his trail, he's like, you know what?
He bought the pizza.
I'm gonna buy some pizza, and I'm gonna be laughed at, and I'm gonna have people like have a whole thing about this, and then who would ever assume that Laszlo is Satoshi?
It's a good cover. I mean,
that would be the ultimate move. That's the ultimate move.
Yeah.
It's probably very.
Oh, you thought? Oh, I'm not but Jim. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely that my conspiracy theory is true.
It's probably way off the mark. I'll throw you my Bitcoin conspiracy theory as long as we're just
making shit up.
Hypothetically speaking, and I'm making shit up and just being drunk here. I think that let's say that the Bitcoin. Cryptography, all that stuff is actually created by the CIA, the SHA 256 or whatever. That encryption code. What the hell is it?
Yeah.
SHA 256.
There are people that.
That's the encryption code from the CIA. That's what they use.
Really? I mean, there are some people out there that legit think that Bitcoin is a NSA or
a construct of the CIA, a deep state construct, and perhaps it's used by So that's my conspiracy theory about Bitcoin. Am I right? Probably not. Am I an idiot? Yes, most definitely. Speculate who is Satoshi. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I read a great article. A friend of mine on Twitter. I've been reading this guy. forget his name off the top of my head, but he had great. It doesn't really matter who Satoshi is. If it came out tomorrow, Jonathan, and you found out like, oh, it was like Joe Schmidlap with Satoshi, would it freaking matter to the price of Bitcoin?
I actually think it would. And so I think it's good that we don't know who Satoshi is. I hope that we never find out who Satoshi is or was, or group or individual. I really do. And I'll tell you why. It's because that person would then become scrutinized to a level that every single action that person takes would be scrutinized, to then a level that it's like regardless if it was related or not, actions they took, to then discredit the whole thing. Everything would get, I would be afraid that if Satoshi is revealed, it would create, like this discreditation of things, because everybody has incentives. Like, to me, that's the biggest problem with these altcoins, is that every single altcoin has incentives and tremendous rewards for the people that create it, right? And sure, like you can say like, well, they created it, so they should get rewards. I agree with that, but you're not decentralized, you're not this Bitcoin, whatever. Like, go do your thing. Just don't try to take the thunder of over here, because you're not even there. Like, you're in different lanes.
It seems like a lot of these altcoin projects, and some of them I'm a fan and supporter of, and some I'm not. But it seems like a lot of them revolve more around a central figurehead or a person. So it seems like it's more of a cult of personality. So you buy into this person who is the leader of the project, whether it's, a Justin Sun, or Charles Haskin, or a Jed McCaleb, or Fluffy Pony. I mean, there's a figurehead that you're Brad Garlinghouse. I'm not follow Brad. If you do, wow, he would really appreciate it and probably give you a like on Twitter. But you know what I mean.
Well,
that's why it's great. There is no Satoshi. We don't know.
Yeah, right. And so even though Bitcoin has been created in this way, and there doesn't seem to be incentives by the creator to benefit personally, other than like what they mined and the early stuff, of course, that's still in a wallet that hasn't been moved. I'd just be afraid that it would do that. And it's human nature to be incentive driven. Yeah, so I think it's great that we don't know Satoshi. I hope we never learn who Satoshi is. Sure, there's like speculation of who he could be or the people that he could be. But personally, I believe that it's part of the social construct of Bitcoin, is the fact that there is this anonymous founder, and that, there's been this movement around that anonymity.
Anonymity. Yeah, I know what you mean. Anonymity.
So,
yeah. Well, you talk about movement. Speaking of movements, here's one. Grayscale CEO alluding that they are seeing all-time highs of inflows in Q2 in 2020. And that would be our friend, the lovely and talented Barry Silbert over there at Grayscale and DGC. So they're seeing some serious movement of inflows in Q2. Who is buying Bitcoin in Q2 that they're seeing huge inflows? Jonathan, would you care to speculate?
I don't know, but I know they themselves are buying a lot of Bitcoin. There was an article recently where I think they 30% of what was mined they picked up. Now I gotta find that because it was really good. DCG.
Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust on a whole new level in 2020. Average weekly investment in Q1 is 3.2 million. Average weekly investment in Q1 2020 is 29.9 million. So get this, year over year, okay? Y over Y. Right? I don't even know. I'm drunk. I don't give a shit. But from 2019, last year, 3.2 million. This year, 29.9 million.
That's crazy.
That's a mic drop, bitches. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop just going, peace out, we done.
It's safe to say they're bullish on it.
And we go back to that whole stock to flow model, last year from Plan B that shows next year, 288. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. Nobody knows. although the stock-to-flow model has been rather accurate in the past, and he spends a lot more time doing it than I do, because I spend a lot of time playing Call of Duty. Bitcoin trivia, the unofficial mascot, Jonathan. Do you know who the unofficial mascot of Bitcoin would be?
The Bitcoin unofficial mascot of Bitcoin is furry and doesn't take shit from anybody, and is in the desert. Are they in the desert? I think they're in the desert. So that is the some
it's not
tips.
John McAfee either, because that sounds like you're describing John McAfee from the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, is he in the desert? I don't know. We don't even know where McAfee is.
We don't know. I think
he
he's in the
doesn't even know where he's at.
He's in the Caribbean or
McAfee
something.
doesn't know where. No, he was in the Caribbean. Then he had to like get love on the run, like he was Billy Ocean, right? He had to get his love on the run because he had to leave the Caribbean with his Caribbean queen because they were after him. And he left the boat. Then he went to like Eastern Europe or like Slovakia, to like some place where, you know, like Hostel was filmed, and there's like some arms dealers that are smuggling him around Eastern Europe, and I don't even know where the hell McAfee's at now. I think Waldo has a better idea, along with Carmen frickin' Sandiego, where McAfee's at right now.
Yeah, make sure that you answer in the comments and in Twitter if you know the answer to the question, the unofficial mascot of Bitcoin. We will be giving you 50K Satoshis to one lucky person for the correct answer.
Yeah, that's what we're all about.
Just sats.
Just that. That's what we do. All about.
Well, episode 5's in the books. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Matthew Ryan Case, it's always a pleasure to be able to chat with you and discuss and speculate a little bit and talk about what's been going on in the week. I hope you have a good week.
Jonathan, I have the most fun speculating with you more than anybody. I am a master speculator, and I thank you, friend, for bringing the fire for being El Fuego. You're just so hot with it. Oh, and look at you. You're so quick with your fun little visual fonts in the background. If I did that, it would look like Seattle was burning behind me and was the end of the freaking world. So it's probably a good thing that I don't.
It's been a fire podcast today, so it's been fun. Matt, I'll see you on the Twitter sphere.
Yes, I'll see you out there trolling folks like I do. Much love.
Everybody, thanks for listening to another episode of Just Sats. Make sure that you are liked and subscribed and respond so we can send you 50,000 sats. We want to send them to you.
Or don't respond. So that way we can keep it and we can be richer in the next 18 months when this thing hits like a whole shit with money.
Yep.
Just Sats.
All right.
That is that. JG Blanco, what's up, bitches?
We're out.